Well, he is the man with the plan. Greg Smedley Warren is a kindergarten teacher who loves to educate little ones while making learning fun.
Yes, and we feel like we are always celebrating milestones with you, Mr. Greg. Congratulations. You just released your very first book. Tell us all about it.
I did, and it's surreal to see it. Like, when we got the first copy, it was amazing to see. People have always said, oh, you should write a book, you should write a book. And so I finally did. And the thing is, there's always talk about what we can teach kids, right? But I know as a kindergarten teacher and as a parent that we can learn so much from our kids. And that's where this series of books comes from, is what our kids can teach us.
Ooh.
And patience is something that adults need a lot of. And our kids are great about helping us learn those things. And so that's where the book came from, was the lessons that our kids can teach us and to remind us to slow down, take a breath, and enjoy the moment.
I love that.
I do too. I think you said, people just kept saying, why don't you write a book? Because you've been reading for years to kids. But what was this process like for you?
It was that once I got started, it just came out. But it was that fear of like, can I do it? Will people like it? Will it be any good? And so once I sat down and started doing it, it was actually really easy. And it was actually a lot of fun. Like, our daughter is included in the book. A student who's made a really big impact on me is included in the book. And so I made it personal to us, but something that everyone can enjoy and learn from.
Okay, so what did you learn from your daughter?
To slow down. Take a deep breath. She'll say, Dada, are you mad? She said, your eyebrows are doing this. Like, she said, can you let those down? So I have to be very aware of that. So
she is so precious.
She is. Yes,
okay, so we are keeping kids busy this winter break. So what kind of craft did you bring us today?
So I brought something that anybody can do.
Okay.
Because
thank goodness.
Right? It's no cutting, none of that. It's cookie cutters.
Perfect.
Everybody has cookie cutters. All the holidays, Walmart sells actually like these big buckets of cookie cutters. Like, you can get those in any store. And so all we're going to do is dip them in the paint and stamp them on our paper.
Let's do this.
Right?
I love that idea because I'll be honest, my 10-year-old and I are not the best artists. And he did do a Christmas tree on one of his cards the other day. This would have been a much easier option. Where were you when we made our cards?
Easy. It's not super messy.
I love this.
Like, and when I do it in my classroom, like, I can just put the supplies out and the kids just do it without me. It's something they can do independently.
Naturally.
Right. They just grab it and go. So.
Why do you say that kids should be bored? Why do you say that's important?
Because kids today can't entertain themselves. Like, they can't problem solve. And so by allowing our kids to be bored and forcing them in a way to figure out what to do, we're building more independent people.
I can totally see that.
Yes, because they're so overscheduled, right? And as soon as somebody says they're bored, we give them a device, or we're like, oh, well, here, let's do this, or let's go. And so they never have that opportunity to think about what they want to do and discover what interests them.
That is so true. I've seen that firsthand at my house, actually. Now that you say that, whenever my kid is taken away from the video games or whatever, I'll hear him up there, and he's like creating in his mind because he's been forced to, right?
Yes.
You said this is one of a number of books coming out. Tell us about the other themes.
Yeah, so once I started this one, like, the others just kind of flowed right out. And so we have one on being bold, being brave and taking risks. We have one on kindness, and we have one that is all about having fun.
Okay. You know, you have been around children for years and years. What do you think, besides patience, is the biggest lesson that we can take away from observing the children around us?
I think just to go for it. Like, kids are they get an idea and they do it. For better or worse, right? But I think that getting rid of some of that fear that we all have, that something may not work or somebody may not like it, right? And so kids, they don't have that. And I think that's what we can learn from them, is to be bold and take those risks.
They are truly fearless.
They really are.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And look at how fearless we are showing our works of art. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Greg.
Everyone, pick up your copy of Smorgie's Lesson in Patience at tksstore.com. Thank you, Mr. Greg.
Thank you.